Hey everybody, it's Skylar and I'm back again with another video. This time we are doing a chit chat. This is kind of like a sit down video, but I'm not sitting down. I'm in the bathroom getting ready for work and I have a life update for you. I just wanted to share a little bit more about my life, and I'm multitasking because I'm a mom and I have to go to work in a little bit. And so I'm going to be like doing makeup and hair and stuff and getting ready and make sure that I don't run out of time before it's time to leave for work. I like to always prepare ahead of time and make sure that I'm ready before I actually need to leave, because if I don't get ready before I need to leave, then, you know, I'm going to be late. So I don't like being late, although I am late all the time. I don't know how that happens.
How are you doing?
I'm doing a video. So this life update is actually kind of a big deal. So I wanted to, can you quit doing that please? I wanted to kind of chit chat about our home situation. So like, we have lived in our house that we live in right now, which we rent. We have lived here for 4 years now? Yeah, 4 years since February. And can you quit doing that, please? They always just want to make noise and be like known that they're present.
I was hanging on the door.
We don't do that because we're gonna break the door. We moved here because it was cheap, even though it's old. It was cheap, and it's a 3-bedroom. It's hard to find a 3-bedroom for cheap. And we had one kid at the time, and us, and then we wanted to have a playroom for her, and then that was Lexus, then we had Bentley, and while we've been here, and now we're pregnant with her third. And so we're not really like outgrowing the house, we just don't have very much square footage. Can you quit? You're making a squeaky noise. It's annoying. Can you please stop? I've asked you several times. Leave it open or shut, or I'm gonna lock it. Do I need to lock it? Leave it alone. Sorry.
I want it closed.
Well then close it then, but leave it closed. Anyway, so we love our landlords. We've known them, like I said, for 4 years now. They're nice. They fix things when it needs fixed, but we've just had a lot of problems. First, we had like a electric problem where there was like a water leak under the bathroom, like underneath the house, and when you would stand in the shower, you would get electrocuted, and I was like, oh my gosh, you know, like we need to move out. And then they fixed it and I was like, okay, well that's good. And then we had a septic issue, which happens, and they drained the septic and they fixed it. Here you go. And then we had a water leak in the floor. This was like over the past couple of months, and it was like in the bathroom, and it was like leaking from where the toilet gets water from to put into the toilet to flush it. And so there was a leak in the floor in the bathroom, and we didn't notice. It was like a slow drip, and we didn't notice that it was leaking until it got bad. And then we told the landlord, and every time he come over here, it wasn't leaking, and so he didn't do anything because he didn't think it was leaking. And so then it just started spraying out one day. So I was like, we have to fix this now. Like, we can't wait on him to come over here. So we fixed it ourselves, and it wasn't very expensive. So we fixed it, and then when they went under there, this was like 2 days ago, when they went under there to fix the floor, they took some of the floor out because the floor was so damaged from the water leak. And then this was someone else that does flooring professionally, I think he was. And he said that there was termite damage, and that he was going to tell the landlord, because the landlord needed to get somebody out here to spray for termites probably, and just investigate and then see if they needed to spray. And so someone came out here today, and this is what I wanted to talk about. Like, it helps me to vent because I'm so stressed out about this. And I know this is kind of a weird video, and I don't normally do videos like this, but this might be a huge life change that we might have coming, besides the fact that we're having another baby. That's a huge life change, something worth vlogging about. But I thought this was kind of worth vlogging about also because when the termite guy came today, he went under the house and all around it, and he said that there's been termites here probably for several years, and they just ate away all the protein in all of the floors, and all the floors need to be ripped up. They all need to be replaced, and he would probably just move out if he was me because it was that bad. And so I was like, okay, great. And so I talked to my husband, and he's like, wonderful. Okay, what do we do now? I guess we have to move. I don't know. I don't know. So we have been looking into buying a house, but we're having some issues. We were going to buy a house several years ago. And when I say several years ago, I mean before we even had our first child, we were going to buy a house. But something about like, I don't know, I just had like a bad feeling. We actually had made an offer on a house, but I had a really bad feeling about the realtor and the entire house that we were going to make an offer on. We had made an offer, but we wound up backing out. And I just felt like it wasn't the right decision and that we jumped into it. And so we backed out, and I'm kind of glad we did because we went through some financial hardship after that. And so I kind of feel like there are things that happen for a reason, and that was one of those things, like, we backed out for a reason. And if we wouldn't have, then things would have went differently in a bad way. They would have went south. So we've been renting, and some people rent, and it's fine. And they're like, okay, rent all your life, then you're not responsible for all the problems that you have with your house. Which, if we own this house, we would probably be bankrupt because of all the stuff that has gone wrong with it. I don't even know how our landlords have managed to pay for all of this stuff. But we found a house that was worth it. It didn't have foundation problems and water leaks and plumbing problems and electrical problems and termite problems and foundation. I don't know if I already said that. Foundation problems. Then it wouldn't cost that much, and we would be paying towards something that we actually owned instead of paying and putting money in someone else's pocket. I've always hated the fact that I'm basically just paying to stay here, and I'm paying you like gazoodles of money for no reason. I don't know if you can tell, but my anxiety is level 500 right now. Like, normally it's at like a 200 because I'm always anxious, but it's like 500 right now, and that's not like legit. Obviously that's not legit, but that's just my way of explaining how my anxiety feels right now, because I just found this out a couple hours ago, and ever since I found this out, I've been looking into what we need to do to buy a house, and if we can. And so I just called my sister's loan officer. She just bought a house a couple months ago, and she said she was going to like run our credit and check and see if she could play with some numbers and get us into a place. Basically, a couple of years ago, we had, like I said, some financial issues, and it was just really hard, and we basically had to fight to get back on our feet, and we finally are. It's just that we're still like repairing our credit and our debt to income ratio from that. So it's just been not super easy to be able to even think that we could even qualify for a home loan. Even the rural development loan, which is a 0 down payment, we just have to like play with the numbers and figure out if our debt to income ratio is going to be good. So basically, I've got to figure out, like, I've got to fill out an application and then see if that's something that we're going to be able to do. And if so, then we might be moving. So I thought that was a pretty big life update. Moving, especially like right now in this COVID mess, is going to be really stressful if we do get to move. And also because obviously I'm pregnant, and now we're in month 6, or we will be next week. I don't know. We're almost in month 6. We're in week like 23 and a half, almost 24 weeks. So it will be really stressful with that. But when my sister bought a house a couple months ago, the time that she started the application she like didn't even start looking for houses until after she was approved, and that like that's how you're supposed to. But she wasn't even like eyeballing anything. She literally applied, and then 1 month later she moved in. And she didn't even know like what house she was gonna buy until like 2 weeks after applying. And so it was like really, I don't even know how it was that quick. So with that being said, it might be that quick for me if we are able to buy a house. So I'm trying to like be optimistic about it, where, you know, we might be buying a house during pregnancy, but like if we do that, if we're able to, but it might not take as long as you would think, so that's a plus. So we might, if we are able to buy it, we might be able to be in a month or two before the due date. So that's not as stressful if you think about it that way, especially since if we wind up being able to buy it, then that would be a huge relief to actually own what we had. And yes, we would be responsible for it, but we could do things on our own time. We could paint, we could remodel, whenever we had like whatever extra money, because I really have wanted to remodel this kitchen that we live in now, but obviously we don't own this house, so I don't really want to do that, and I don't think they would let us anyway, because it's not our house, it's their house. So I've not been able to do that, and I've been like embarrassed by the kitchen the entire time we've lived here, because it's just like so old, and the tiles are falling off of the counter, and they're cracking on the floor, and so I've just been like really embarrassed. Don't really want people over here because it's so old. And I realize people live in old houses, and that like that's fine, and some people like the antique look, but I really just think this house needs to be torn down. I really do, because the foundation is so bad, and there's so much damage. There's termite damage now that we know that, you know. And I know that like you can jack up the floor and fix the foundation, but who wants to pay for that, especially when this house is probably not worth very much. But anyway, that's our life update. I know I just chatted away, but that is how my brain works. Seriously, I get so worked up about things that I have to talk about it, and if I don't talk about it, then I will literally just chat my husband's head off, because I have to talk about it and I have to get it out. And if I chat his head off, he's the type of person where he's like, I need you to tell me one thing at a time. If you tell me more than one thing at a time, it's going to stress me out, and I can't even comprehend what you're saying because you've told me 500 things in one sentence. And so just like, don't tell me anything, basically. So I go to therapy for a number of reasons, but that's one of the reasons, is so I can have someone that's not my husband to talk to, that is basically being paid to talk to me. And it's not like they're gonna be like, okay, shut up, like you're too crazy, like your anxiety is stressing me out, I need you to stop, you know. Because I would like for my friendships and my marriage and my other, you know, relationships, like my, you know, my sisters, my friends, whatever, my parents, whoever else, for those relationships to be not just about me, where I'm constantly having to talk about my problems with those people. So I don't have therapy right now for a couple of weeks because she got overbooked from someone quitting at their, like someone that was a therapist that had to like go somewhere else, and so she inherited all of his patients. And so now I'm like 3 weeks out with no appointment, and I normally go once a week. And so I've been like, all this pent up stuff has been going on in my brain. And so now you know the real me, and you know like how bad anxious that I am and how much I talk. So I'm just gonna use you as a vent. Anyway, this is a weird video. If you like this video, please let me know, because I don't know if I'll ever do another one like this again. This was really hard for me to open up, like to whoever is watching this, because who knows who's watching this. But especially since it's such a random subject. But if you liked hearing me ramble, and if you like knowing about my life, on a personal level, like if we're gonna move or not or whatever. Just let me know so I know, because I don't know, like I said, I don't know if I'll do another video like this. But stay tuned. Hopefully we'll get pre-qualified for a home loan. If we don't, I have no idea what our next step is going to be. If you're the praying type, say a prayer for us, because it just seems like things keep happening. And I was like, we were exposed to COVID, and then we didn't get it, I don't think. And that was over, and now this happened. And so I'm just trying to stay positive, and I'm trying to keep my focus on other things. And I am the praying type, so I'm trying to keep my focus on God and the fact that His ways are better than mine and higher than mine and different than mine, and I can't fathom the things that He could bring to my life, the good things and blessings that He could bring to my life. And so I'm trying not to try to plan too much out of my life, because I know that the things that I think could happen, sometimes the things that actually do happen are just random, that I would never dream of happening because of God. So I guess we'll see what happens. Hopefully we'll get approved, and if not, we'll have a backup plan. But I'm just kind of waiting around, trying to have as much faith as possible. So thank you so much for your support. Thank you for your prayers. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your views. Thank you for your just being so nice, and for your prayers, seriously, because I know a couple of you have been praying for me, and that is really nice. And if you have any prayer requests, please leave them down below. Like I said, I'm the praying type, so I will definitely pray for you, especially if you're nice enough to pray for me. That's awesome. I really would like to return the favor. I'll see you in my next video. I don't know if I'm going to keep doing random videos like this in between the pregnancy updates or not, or if I'm just going to do pregnancy updates. I don't know. I did a cleaning video yesterday, I uploaded it today. Today's still Thursday. I uploaded it today, and it was like the things that I do every day to keep my house in order and keep my family taken care of. And then the day before that was the 23-week pregnancy update. So watch those if you haven't watched them already, and I will see you in my next video.